So joining me now on the Sunday Morning Brew is a musician, singer, songwriter and author, and they've even named a beer after him. It's Joe James from Merthyr Tydfil. Welcome, Joe.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. So for our listeners, just explain who you are and where you come from and what instruments you play.
Okay. Well, originally I was born in Abergavenny, brought up for a few years in Tredegar up in the valleys. And then my father was a gospel singer with another guy who was part of an Elim church in Merthyr Tydfil. So the family moved over to Merthyr to be part of that church. And we eventually then went off and with another couple started a new plant in Merthyr, a non-denominational. So I grew up in the church, is what I want to say. So all the good, the bad, and the ugly that you would expect. Then in 2007, I moved to America. I lived there for 17 years. And then just a year ago, moved back to Wales. And in the last year, I've been just busy just doing musical events, and I published 2 books. My primary instrument is piano. I started playing when I was 7 years old, but really got really fired up when I heard Dire Straits and Alan Clark, who was Dire Straits' pianist. He was my first musical influence. And then a friend of mine got me onto Billy Joel, and then I just became obsessed and learned every song that I could at the time, and that's my main instrument. But I can play about another 9 different instruments, badly or just enough to get me in trouble. So
that's amazing. 9 instruments. I play about 3-ish, and it's amazing, isn't it? Musical influences. Billy Joel. I mean, what a great pianist and what a great songwriter. Yeah. So you've been writing your own songs then, Joe?
Yes, first one. Well, actually, right from the beginning, I always loved improvising. I loved breaking the rules, and even when I was starting to learn, I would always add extra notes to the notes that were on the page. But I started writing just funny songs when I was about 14 with my friends. We would just joke about. But then 16 was the time I wrote my first, what I would say, Christian church song. And I've been doing it ever since. Probably written over 100 pieces of music over the years. Not all of them would be out there, but yeah, I love composing.
So I understand you went over to the States for a while. Was that to do with work, or tell us a little bit about your journey in America?
Yeah, so I in 2003 I married an American, and she came to join me in Wales because my brother was over there in Bible college, so I'd gone to visit him 2001, and then that's how I met her. So we married. She joined me here in Wales 2003. We had 2 children here, and then we felt it was time to go and try America. And then we just went through a bit of a hellish year, ended up separating. So I stayed because of our kids. But then during that process, I was asked to plant a new church in St. Louis. And it was connected with a woman called Joan Geeson. Now, Joan Geeson used to work for a man called Benny Hinn. And before that, she worked for Catherine Coleman. These are names in the sort of charismatic circles. But we started that church. I did that for about 10 years. And then just felt, kind of got burned out with church and decided that's it. So I became a truck driver and was at my height doing about 12,000 miles a month. A lot of driving, and then eventually came off being over the road and got a local job, which then led me up to moving back here just a year ago. So, but yeah, did a lot of good things over there.
But you came back to Wales, and we're so glad you did, because you're a son of the land. Absolutely.
Thank you.
What is it about Wales and song? What is it? It's got a special place in all of our hearts, I know, but what is it, especially with a spiritual connection? We hear these, we've heard of these things called revivals in the past, these religious revivals, which seem to have an impact. I mean, do you think sound, revival, music, song, is there a connection there, Joe?
Definitely. I grew up, I went to a Welsh-speaking school, and I never really did well at school. I was always, they probably would have labeled me with something, today, but back then you would just put on the naughty table or went to special classes. But when I was doing my GCSEs, the only A that I ever got was for an English project. So I'm in a Welsh school. I did an English project on the Welsh revival, and I was hooked. So about 15, I think, I was hooked by just reading the history, and especially the ladies that used to travel with Evan Roberts, who was the principal figure, and the song "Here Is Love," Dymagariad Fel y Moroedd, was the song of the revival, and just that, you just couldn't. It was sang every time. And the stories of spontaneous singing in the meetings that would just occur. It really is. I think somebody said that God has, such a fondness for Wales because he sends it so many revivals, and there's a lot of singing involved. So yes, such a big deal. I've written songs about revival in Wales myself, and I'm working on new ones now. And it's because it's a way of distilling teaching and theology, doctrine, where they're distilling it down to a way that people can sing and embody it. So that's why I'm passionate about that kind of thing.
That's amazing. I was just thinking about, just how the whole tradition of hymn singing in Wales is so massive. I mean, even in the rugby stadiums, Bread of Heaven, that's one of the ones that's often requested here on the Sunday Morning Brew. And there's something about singing together. What's the connection, do you think? Is there power in singing together? What happens when we do that, Joe?
Well, number one, what I would say, maybe not in order, but identity is a big thing. So the singing at the rugby, you see the videos now on YouTube of people singing in the pubs, and there's just that unison. And I think it just makes us feel closer to our neighbor in such a disjointed society where we're all online and we're all busy doing our own thing. That one moment where we're like, oh, I know this song, and we sing it. Even if we can't sing, we'll give it our best effort. And it's a join and a unifying sort of power to it. So yeah, I do believe there is a power to that.
So releasing the sound, the Welshness, the passion in Wales, mixed with spirituality. For our listeners, there's a connection there. Why is it important for Wales to release its sound? Or as Christians or people interested in church, do we have a sound? Maybe I'll frame the question differently. Do we have a sound? Do we have a God-given sound, I wonder? Is there a sound in us?
Well, I think the way I like to see it, I always used to see myself as a Welsh Christian. And now I see myself more as a Christian who is from Wales. So it has more to do with personally finding my true identity in my faith, and then it expressed through my culture. And in America, I saw it, the American culture, the way that they would express their faith. When I've been to Africa or to India, and the music's different, and it's almost, I would say, hard. I would find it hard to worship, for want of a better word, in those cultures, but to see their culture express their faith. So when we come back to Wales, then I don't think you need to be spiritual to have that connection, as long as you're Welsh, that there is that commonality there. So it's not a case of that you have to be committed or going to church. I think I just did a funeral for somebody that wasn't for what I would describe a person of faith, but they wanted Calon Lan sung at their funeral, and that unified, that sort of sense that even though he wasn't a person of faith, that song, that hymn, was special to him.
That is wonderful. And Canon Lan, we actually played that last week, Joe, and it really resonated with people. I mean, we do play a lot of Welsh choirs as well.
This is the Sunday Morning Brew with Rev. John Brewer on WYNNE Evans Show.